section consists of 16A, B and C. You can leave these attached by the tabs, but you will need to reglue them later as they are easily separated. Now the wing section is made up of 3 different profiles, which are distinguishable by the placement of the holes in each. 3 holes behind the spar slot, 2 holes behind the spar slot, and 1 either side of the spar slot. Now, the innermost is 3 holes behind the spar slot. Now that needs to start with your first one coming in just here on the inside of that slot, aligned further towards the back of the wing. As you can see with these profiles, because of the nature of laser cutting, there is a small area of error, and so you will need to align them all the same direction. Starting with 3 holes rear of the spar, align on the center of this rectangle here, align forward, you can see the movement, and glue the leading edge in place and the trailing edge until secure. Now another 3 to the rear of the spar, and then outside of the rectangle here, making sure it's butted up the edge smoothly, and align front, and a touch of glue there. Now although you're not fitting it now, you will need part 26A and B in order to create the alignment. This is the main wing spar and runs the length of the wing. Lay that into the wing spar slots. Then you can begin working your way down the wing. Another 3 to the rear of the spar fits into the larger rectangle there. Use the wing spar to judge this. It's loosely fitted, and touch of glue here and here. Allow those to dry. The next piece you want to fit is another 3 to the rear spar. Fit it just to this side here, and again align to the front and squared off here. Try it again with the wing spar for the fitment. Now your next section along will be the 2 to the rear, which fits into this section here. It's slightly smaller and will need gluing in place like so. Again, use the wing spar to judge fitment. Once you're happy with it, in this case aligned to the front, glue in place. You will of course need to sand these front leading edges slightly just to get the distinct profile. For the open space here, you're going to fit 2 spars equidistant to each other and perfectly perpendicular. So remove the center spar, fit these roughly where you want them, spaced appropriately, and butt it towards the front. Use the wing spar again to align them. Judge them at 90 degrees. Applying pressure to the wing spar holds it in place, and glue the trailing edge and the front edge in place. Careful not to get any super glue on the main spar, as you are going to want to remove it. You'll need another 2 to the rear, fitted like so, about 5mm inset from the elevated davit. Now make sure that it is parallel to the others. Glue it, touch on the front and touch on the rear. Now there are different options for the trailing edge of the wing. The one in front and one behind allows you to bend the wing spar backwards, giving it a more raked effect, which is more useful in display models, like so. In this one, however, I'm going to use another 3 to the rear, which I'm going to fit along that edge there, in line with that, up against there, knowing that I'm going to sand these edges down at a later point. I'm going to touch it with some glue, make sure that it's secure. As you can see, that wing is settled in place. There are spares if you want to put more wing spars in just for decorative purposes. You can put as many as you like, but make sure you're leaving enough to complete the other side of the wing. Once those are fitted in place, you can align that and just touch some super glue along the connection with the wing profiles and on the edges of the connection as needed. I'm going to remove that part now. Completing the wings needs wing spars 26A and B. These should all now fit perfectly in the slots you've lined up. So lay both wing spars all the way along, push them to meet perfectly in the center, pat them down firm. Then along the wing, glue each joint. Profile. These small ends here will be trimmed later. Glue the 2 wing spars together and continue along the other side. Now you might notice the 2 holes here in the wings. These are provided so you can hang with a piece of thread through here if you want to. Now that the wing is dry, you can sand off these extra front edges here, just with a file or filing paper, gently so as not to crack the wood, and make sure they are smooth to profile the whole way along so that you get a nice covering with your tissue on. Just arch them slightly forward and repeat for the other side. Once the wing section is complete and sanded to your satisfaction, lay it aside. We can put some finishing details onto the fuselage. The machine guns, parts 30A and B, fit into these slots here. Trial fit them. We're happy with where they are. Little dab of super glue between the 2 slots will hold them in place. If you are covering with the tissue, it's probably better to put these on last after you've covered it. And you can also at that point paint it if you want to. They sit like that, giving the pilot access to cocking levers and parallel and firing through the propeller blade. Another detail for display models is part 6A, the lower section of the fuselage cockpit, which slides in from the front like so, butts up against there and can be worked into position to sit flush and then glued like so. This is a good strengthening part, although not strictly necessary. It does add a little bit more detail and strength. To start fitting the wing to the fuselage, you're going to need parts 17A and B, which are the upright bracings. They fit here into the slots on the side of the fuselage and cowling. Now they can be placed very gently so that they will just sit there. Notice that one end is shorter than the other. You want the longer end facing backwards, the shorter end facing more forwards. Make sure that both are the same direction and place in. After that, you can align by hand to fit in the two slots in the main wing, like so, which is a little tricky. Make sure they're both aligned the same way and that the wing is at 90 degrees to the main body of the plane. So then carefully glue where the support strap comes through. Then once that's solid, glue where the struts fit into the cowling, like so. Allow it to dry fully before moving it. Once you've fitted the top wing, it's time to look at fitting the support struts. Now, in the original D8 model, the support struts would have gone much closer to the body. This is representative by putting your support strut through the small hanging hole formed here. That is part number 29A or B. However, in a flying model, you're going to want to trim about an inch from the end. So, insert through the side of the fuselage through this hole and up into the aperture in the wing, like so. Secure it into the wing hole with some glue and the front of the aperture, like so. Then, judging your length, repeat exactly the same process on the other side, passing it through at first, then aligning the front, gluing, and then allowing for it to dry. That will give the wing a lot more strength if you're flying the balsa version. And onto the landing gear. To begin building the landing gear assembly, you should start with part 23A, which is the horizontal, then the wheel profiles, which fit in thusly. Start as close to the centre as possible and at 90 degrees. Touch the front and rear with glue. Step in with your next one, making sure to keep them all aligned the same direction. Use the davits on the rear of the wing as a little guide, just how they should fit. Align them vaguely inwards and just use a tiny touch of super glue so they're aligned to their most extreme inward angle, making sure of course the V is in the same direction. Laying the plane upside down, going to dry fit the undercarriage. Still able to move it a little bit as the super glue dries. Of course, with balsa cement you've got more time. It fits in the davits on the underside of the fuselage. Check your alignment on all sides, and also check the angle of the undercarriage in relation to the rest of the undercarriage before gluing and allowing to dry thoroughly. For the final step for the landing gear, take the toothpick provided in the kit, insert through the hole in the bottom of the V, along the top of the spars and out the other side. Now the wheels fit loosely over the top like so. In order to align them, allow them to hang slightly and then square them off visually and touch some super glue to the toothpick bamboo spar. Allow it to dry, then repeat the same process on the other side. You can now, using a pair of nail clippers or blade, trim the sharp edges off of the undercarriage, which should now spin on the axle, allowing it to trundle. Now the last couple of parts of the model are 27A and B, which are either side cowling profiles fitted here according to your taste, or just little bits of extra detailing behind the cockpit to give it more of a domed effect. I'm not going to use them right now. And the last two pieces to add are 25A and B, which are the two tail flaps. Simply hold them in place, put them up firmly, and glue along the joint. You're going to have to hold it firmly while it dries. And that is your completed FOKKER D8 flying razor, which you can display as it is, or cover, which is easier before you put the wings together. You can of course fit the motor kit inside the rubber band motor, or alternatively weight it behind the nose with coins or washers for flight.